Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're going to be trying out a new style of deck that I'm kind of excited to try out. It's kind of a new idea. Before we get into that, though, thank you to Toons Theory for kind of suggesting this new gameplay layout. I was kind of trying to find a way to make the gameplay bigger, and so hopefully this works. Hopefully it's better gameplay for you all. The deck that we're going to be trying today is a rhyming deck, and we're not rhyming with the card names themselves, like Hunter and Bandit, because I don't think there are really any cards that rhyme. So what we've done is I've made a rhyming deck based off of kind of attributes that the cards have. So hopefully as I'm explaining this it makes sense. So we have a card that wears boots, a card that is mute, because although he can make sounds he can't actually speak. So card that is mute, card that is cute, card that is Groot, card that is a brute, a royal recruit, card that is like a toot, because if somebody toots near you or on you, it's basically like they're dropping the poison spell. So card that is a toot, and then card that executes. So this is the Oot deck that we're going to be trying. Kind of a weird concept, but kind of something goofy that I thought I would try. The cards with qualities that rhyme, so we're gonna see how this goes. Got back from the oh wait, why do we have the I don't know why we have the chef tower equipped. That was unintentional, but I don't think there was a rhyme there that I was going for. But I got back from the Grand Canyon today. It was just a little day trip that we went on, and it was a lot of fun. There was a comment, I think, in last video, or the one before that, kind of asked me to talk about my experience. So, I would be happy to do that, because it was a really cool experience being there. Hold on just one second. It was just a day trip that we went there for. We mainly went just to spend the day with my grandpa, because he was there with my aunt and my uncle, so his two kids, and they were going to go on a hike. We're just going to vines that, because I don't want to have to deal with that behind something. But his two kids, my aunt and uncle, were going to go on a hike in the Grand Canyon, and it was essentially up one ridge, down into the canyon, and then up the other, and it was going to be a pretty strenuous hike. Like, it was going to be, I think they got dropped off in the morning at like 6 in the morning, and they didn't finish till the afternoon, like 3 or 4. So it was a pretty long hike, and he just wasn't going to be able to do that. So he was going to be just staying at the hotel alone. And my dad was like, no, we'll come up. It's only a few hours away, so we'll come up and kind of spend the day with you. So that's mainly the reason why we went up. And it was just a day trip. And I guess I should preface this by saying that the experience could have been better, because I wasn't feeling super well. I think I got elevation sickness of some kind, because when we went up there, I got a headache. I had a pretty bad headache for most of the day. So it was kind of hard to enjoy. It was kind of hard to enjoy anything, because, when you're kind of in pain, it makes it harder to enjoy something. So the experience wasn't quite as good as it could have been, but it was still really awesome. We just went. We didn't have any plans ahead of time, so we mostly just walked along the ridge, went to a couple of viewpoints, and that was about it. But there is more that you can do there. I found out later that you can actually go in the river, I believe. You can drive down to the river and kind of float along the river and actually do a multi-day trip there that kind of involves going on the river and then stopping at a campsite and floating on the river the next day, which sounds pretty cool. There's also a certain walkway that you can go on that is It's like a glass walkway, so you're pretty much walking out into the Grand Canyon, hundreds of feet above the ground, and the floor is made of glass, which sounds actually kind of spooky. But we weren't going on that side of the Grand Canyon. Like there was the west side, and then I think the south side or something that we were on. But we weren't on that side. That was a few hours away. But there's actually a lot you can do there. We mainly got to experience the views. We just got to look off and see everything. And I'm normally the type of guy that likes to see things online. Like if I see a picture of something online, that's usually sufficient for me. And I'm kind of like, you know what, I'm happy seeing it there. But it was totally different seeing it in person. None of the pictures do it justice. You just look down and there's just a huge drop below you. It's really cool. So I would absolutely go there again. It was really a cool experience, especially for someone like me who isn't really into things like that. But it's something that I would definitely do again. My only recommendations would be, definitely go there, but make sure to bring lots of water because you can get dehydrated. Also make sure to do just a little bit of research ahead of time to see what you might be interested in, because it'll help to know which part of the park you want to go to, because I'm sure there's some parts that are like there's that certain part that has the horseshoe walk where you can look below you and it's all glass, which might be, am I missing? Okay, I gotta go over to here. And so that's something that you would have to go to, and it's several hours away from other parts of the park. So if you want to kind of experience a thrill experience and kind of scare yourself a little bit, then you'll want to go to that. If you want to have more of a chill, relaxing ride, you can look into like river rides, things you can go on. If you just want to experience the views for a day or so, you can just go to some of the viewpoints. And so that would be my advice, is definitely go there. It's definitely worth it. I think it's somewhere that everyone should go at least one point in their life, because it really is a super cool view that you can't experience online. And at the very least, if you do end up absolutely hating it, like worst case scenario, at least you get to spend a little bit of time with your family and go on a trip with them, which is pretty much always a good thing. It gives you some family bonding time. So it's something that I enjoyed even though I was a little bit sick. So that's the only advice I would give you if you're going, is look into it ahead of time, do a little bit of research and see what you want to do, and then bring water. But it was really fun going there. I think we might go back at some point in the future, maybe in the next year or two, but that's what we got back from today. That was the Oot deck, ended up getting us a win. So hope you guys have a wonderful day today, and I'll see you soon.